Hey, what's up, guys? Matt here, just talking today about my most recent interview. I took a coding interview last night for my first ever web developer job that I interviewed for, and this was a very interesting interview because it was an AI interview. It was very neat. It was a combination of HTML, JavaScript, and data fetching and API calling interview. The first part was conversational. It was an AI agent that communicated with me some specific questions regarding the HTML and JavaScript and data fetching and API. And that was really interesting. You could ask it follow-up questions and it would help you. However, it was timed and I got cut off communicating my final answer, and that was okay, because it will be reviewed by a human later. Asked me questions with the HTML based on using semantic tags and non-semantic tags, which would be the article and the head and those kind of tags and things like that, which would be the semantic, and then the non-semantic being divs and spans and those kind of things, and when to use those and why not to use other things. So that was really interesting. Some things I had not really dealt with much before. And then the JavaScript was a little bit intense. Some certain things that I didn't know the name of that I utilize already is something that I had to work out in the question, and I had to ask follow-up questions. But it was more talking about about the hierarchy of event listeners, when you would use individual event listeners, or and I can't even remember what it is now, or what it was, but it was asking about the setting up one group of event listeners, event delegation, I think is what it was. So that was interesting, and I learned a lot. And then the data fetching and API handling was something that I utilize in my work. Sorry about that. I utilize in my work, but again, I didn't know the name of it. So yeah, that was a very interesting conversational interview, and I think I answered it pretty well. I'm excited to see what the humans think at the company, and then got onto the coding challenge, which is something that I've never done before, a coding challenge. I opened it, and it asked to find in an array, or return in an array, to determine the most K shingles in a specific string. Now, these words are not words that I've used before. K shingles, didn't know what that was, and things like that. But apparently that's something that people know and talk about. So it was hard. I did not complete it. It was proctored, so someone was watching or will be watching afterwards. So again, I'm excited to see what the company says. If they realize that my knowledge is very bare bones or limited, I hope to get an answer soon, but we will certainly see what happens. I had to create a map, a hash map of sorts, to work through and sort the algorithm. Apparently it was a greedy algorithm. That is what it's called. After doing some research, I will be doing a lot more work in LeetCode to kind of drum up my knowledge and see what happens from there. I should have a response within 48 hours. So we'll see what happens for my first ever developer interview. And we'll go from there. I'll let you know what happens.